first half on an 11-0 run, and they take down the Clippers 114-103. Clippers led at one point, fell down 14, and never got closer than 5. Suns are back at 500. They get to 5-5, and your Clippers are 3-6 to start the 2025-26 season, as they drop another game at home to the Phoenix Suns. Well, for Big Brother Jake Warner, our engineer, Joey Kimball, our statistician, Adam Osland will take your calls and questions post-game. Joey, Jake, Carlo, Adam, and Daniel West back in the studio saying so long here from Intuit Town. See you in a few. Don't go anywhere. 114-103. Phoenix takes down the Clippers, who have dropped 4 straight.
I'm sorry, Clipper Nation. You're right. No excuses. This team is not executing well enough for 48 minutes, period, on either end. Oh, boy. Can't wait to see the chat here. I saw glimpses of urgency. Too little, too late. And that end of the first half, I bet you dollars to donuts, Coach Lou brings that up early in his postgame presser.
How many donuts?
Depends from where. If they're one of those places with the exotic ones, I can only get you like 2.
Okay, that's where.
Like the maple with the bacon on it.
Those are good.
Or the Captain Crunch, voodoo donut type thing. I'm trying to think about anything but the Clippers loss right now. This is.
How long we going till, Adam? 11?
Daniel.
All right, thanks.
Big bro's going to leave me here alone before the show's over.
I would, but you wouldn't let me.
I might need a bodyguard tonight.
Why?
Clipper Nation is upset.
You didn't lose the game.
I've been blamed before. Wouldn't be the first time. All I know is we won the 3-on-3 tournament earlier. You know what? I would have taken a loss there for the Clippers to get a win tonight.
I'm with you.
This is brutal, guys.
Were you staying set up, Jake? Thank you. Sorry.
There are so many issues with this squad. I don't know where to start. Thank you. But it really starts, I don't know where to start, but it really starts with that intensity and effort and a commitment to it for 48 minutes. What happened here? They've shown it in spurts. Your Los Angeles Clippers have dropped 4 straight after losing at home this time to the Phoenix Suns, 114-103. And they are 3-6, 9 games into this young 2025-2026 NBA season. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we will get to your phone calls. If you want to get on early, 866-987-2570 as we're on AM 570 LA Sports tonight. Locally, but before any of that, let's get back to your radio voice of the Clippers. Well, I was ranting to myself and to the people in the chat on the YouTube side during the break there, Carlo, but the one thing that stands out to me through this first 9 games of the season for the Clippers is just they are not committed to consistent basketball on either end, or you can say they're playing with the right effort and intensity, where they have the attention to details like we saw when they made runs against Phoenix. Yeah. They were able to do it in spurts, but they can't do it for 48 minutes right now.
No, I mean, there's clearly lulls that are doing them in. And James Harden played 40 minutes tonight, Adam. The Clippers were 5-0 when he played 40 minutes last season and was a -18. And I think for the Clippers team, there's 2 parts here. Guys are still learning how to play with each other, but when you give up 20 points off offensive rebounds, I mean, that's an effort stat right there. And the Clippers just have to be better on the glass. You have to be better at finding a man, boxing out. They got to be better at taking care of the ball. There's a lot of positives. I think Bradley Beal was a positive in this game. Beats Zubats back-to-back big games for the Clippers. I like that. I thought John Collins was great on the offensive end, 19 points, a couple assists. But, man, the Clippers just struggled to put together, you put it perfectly, Adam, complete stretches. I mean, 17 second quarter points.
Well, and the lack of focus towards the end of that second quarter is just confounding to me. It is a 3-point game with 3 minutes left. And for some reason, they had senioritis or had a foot out the door to get to halftime as fast as possible because they had 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds. All 3 of them were pretty inexcusable, lackadaisical, self-inflicted wounds. And the Suns are just walking into 3-pointers against them. And you go from being down 3 to being down 14, 24 minutes in. To me, that's this game in a nutshell in some ways, and maybe this season so far. Just a microcosm of things where you have to know in today's day and age, in this league right now, you lose focus for a couple of minutes, you can lose the game right there.
Especially with the pace being at a 40-year high, right? Like everyone's playing so fast. And so anytime you take your foot off the gas, somebody else is going to come and take the lead. And for the Clippers, it was run away with the lead as Phoenix went on that big 11-0 run. You're right, Adam. That was the difference in the game. Joey Kimball handed me a note that it wasn't within closer than 5 that entire rest of the game. I mean, the Clippers just couldn't get it to a one-possession game the entire way. You know, I like the wrinkle from Ty Lue of getting Christie out there for Chris Paul. I think that gives you more speed. I think he was great on the glass. I thought he played good defense at times. But for the Clippers, the offensive rebounds just can't have it. You just can't have it.
There is a thought that I've been trying to push aside, but it keeps creeping into the corner of my brain and barking at me, like Dylan Brooks and James Harden were barking at each other in this game at times, that maybe, and I hope this is not the case, but it feels like that right now to start this season, that the league is trending in a direction that specifically targets older teams with their focus on getting in transition more and easy buckets, and also so many smalls crashing the glass and using up energy there and making you have to close out possessions by having everyone else rebound out there. And the Clippers just aren't meeting that challenge or don't have the legs to, or because of the age issue, it's a real problem right now.
It is, Adam. And you know, you wonder, like, with pace, does it hold up in the postseason? Because that's always the question, right? In the postseason, traditionally the game is slowed down, but look at the 2 teams who made the finals. They played at a blazing pace. So, you know, it is basketball in the league, as Chuck Moncler would say, is basketball, or you said, Adam, is basketball passing the Clippers by? I don't think so. I think they'll make the adjustment. We already saw a little bit of that with Cam Christie playing today. But how do the Clippers get faster? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, Clippers have to regroup and figure this out. They put themselves in a 3-6 hole to start off the season, which is unfathomable considering the teams they have played and how soft the schedule looked initially in the first 10 games. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers put themselves in an uphill battle. They would not be able to come back in as they lose 114 to 103 at home to the Phoenix Suns. Clippers dropped to 3-6 on the season. And these are difficult times, Clipper Nation. We'll talk about it all here on Clippers Talk. But Carlo, great call as always. Let's do it again with a twist. The Clippers winning on Monday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off at 7:30, pregame at 6:30. I'll see you then, my friend.
Adam, we got another one. It's not the end of the season, and if the Clippers have another opportunity to win, I'll take it. Let's go!
Coming up next, your post-game box score, your phone calls. I'm Adam Osland, and this is your post-game Clippers locker room show right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. The good thing about so many people being this upset in the chat is I hardly get to see your comments and how nasty they are with how fast they start scrolling down. With you guys for another 45 minutes here. Sorry, big bro. This team, that end of the second quarter was just a disaster. Unmitigated disaster, inexcusable. That's where the game was lost to me. Joey, you got anything I should pay attention to post game?
Honestly,
Good call, man. That was fun.
our field goal percentage is really good. I don't know how. 50% suck, but
The 3-point percentage. The 3-point percentage. Offensive rebounds.
that was.
Missed free throws, 11 of 18 at the charity stripe.
If I see anything when I get back, you're still on. I will text you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Joey. See you on Monday. Joey Kimball, statistician. For us, we're lucky to have him. Yeah, 3 and 6 is a bad stat. I understand, guys. I am suffering with you. Trust me. This is painful. I don't know what it's going to take. Can we get a lineup change?
Gracie and I will call you the next time we're in the golf course. Pick it up. FaceTime.
The Clippers started 3-2 this season, and now have lost 4 in a row. After shooting 53% from the field, they lose 114-103 at home to the Phoenix Suns. Welcome back into your post-game show. I'm Adam Osland. Coming up, we'll get your phone calls, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. But as I talked about before the break and during it on the YouTube side, Clippers Talk, this game to me was lost at the end of the first half. You cannot give up an 11-0 run in the last 3 minutes of the second quarter like that. You cannot let go of the rope or lose focus or be that absent-minded and feel like, hey, we're down by 3, we're right there, and then just give it away and be down by 14 at 60-46 at the half. Now you put yourself in a terrible position. Or when you make these runs, as they did in the third, to get it down to 5, heading into the fourth, as they got it down to 5 multiple times, it's an uphill battle. And the Clippers aren't making that climb right now. They're not good enough on either end. But you give up. I was looking at the halftime box score. I was like, it's more than 13. I believe it ended up being 13 offensive rebounds for the Phoenix Suns, leading to 20 second chance points. Felt worse than that, but considering the Clippers only had 7, a plus 13 there for Phoenix. And it happened again. The same thing that happened on Thursday night. They got beat up on the glass. The Suns, they didn't shoot the volume from distance quite like the 19 three-pointers I want to say they made on Thursday night, but they made 16 of 38, and the Clippers are 10 of 33 from the outside. That can't happen. Clippers only had 11 turnovers. That was a good sign, but you still get outshot in this game where Phoenix is getting up 6 more shots, 83 to the Clippers 77, and the Clippers went 11 of 18 at the charity stripe. That is 61%. That is inexcusable. It wasn't Ivica Zubac's missing a bunch or one player. It just was a lack of focus from guys. Nico Batum, St. Nick tried to save them late with 3 straight three-pointers, I believe it was. They had it to within 5. He has the block on Dylan Brooks. Looks like he's going to have an open layup. They call a timeout, and Devin Booker gets an and one out of that. Biggest point of the game, most critical point. This Clippers team is they can't put it together. They can't put together long enough stretches of quality play on either end, and I don't care that Kawhi was out tonight. Jalen Green was out after the first quarter for Phoenix. Clippers are 3-6. They lose 114 to 103 here at home to the Phoenix Suns. Quick timeout. We'll come back. More Clippers post-game locker room show here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Why didn't he play Bogdanovich tonight?
He had been struggling. He got Cam Christie more minutes because of it. I think he wanted to see more Cam. Yeah, I think he's one of the young guys that's going to pan out.
Okay.
I'm shocked he actually got this much run the last 2 games, but he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's played well against us.
But
Good.
man, this team, there's not one thing, it's another. I thought it's the 11-0 run to end the first half. It's like you're down 3. You can't get down 14. Talking with Kempton, former NBA player, color analyst for the Phoenix Suns. Great guy. I know a lot of you guys hate the Suns, but they treated us so well when I went to a game in Phoenix a couple of years ago. Noah Eagles' last game with the Clippers. Just rolled out the red carpet for us. Like, the team on the floor, yeah, you may hate them. They're 2-1 against the Clippers. I haven't even looked up when the next game is against Phoenix. Hey, my point was, if Cam Christie is the key to saving your season, that may not be a great sign. Because some of those other guys he's playing over, what's going to happen with CP3 and Bogey? They're just not going to contribute this year. I'm fine with Cam playing more. They've lost the last 2. Clippers lose 114 to 103. It's a rough night. People want to take everything you say out of context. And the Clippers have lost 4 in a row. And 2 straight to the Phoenix Suns. They lose the home and home. They got swept in the home back-to-back here at Into a Dome earlier in the week. Worst week ever against Miami and OKC. Coming up, we will have Coach Lou comments and quotes for you. Really also felt like James Harden in the fourth quarter had a rough one. The shot selection was poor. The decision-making was poor. He's 4 of 15 in the ball game with just 13 points. I know he was under the weather, but some of those shots that he took in the fourth quarter, a logo three-pointer from straight away that was short, ill-advised. When the Clippers had Batum and Zubats, who were starting to heat up. A lot of issues going on with this team right now, but I can simplify it to just not being able to execute well enough for 48 minutes right now in pretty much every area of basketball. We'll talk about it coming up next on Clippers Talk on AM 570 LA Sports. Outside of LA, we are leaving you until Monday. Back here at Into a Dome, Clippers taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off at 7:30, pregame show at 6:30. Outside of LA, talk to you then. In LA, it is Clippers Talk next. I'm looking for some post-game Coach Lou comments. I want to see what James Harden was in the fourth. So he went 0 of 4 in the fourth quarter, and the shots that he took, the shot selection was just poor. It's not like he can't make those shots, but James Harden, he wasn't hitting them. He was having a rough night. He entered the fourth quarter 4 for 11. He exited the fourth 4 for 15. Are we going right in again? Sure. A little deja vu here as the Phoenix Suns are hot from the outside again and out rebound the Clippers dramatically and beat them this time at Into a Dome 114 to 103 as they win the home and home and sweep it against the Clippers Thursday and now Saturday night. Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Moslin. Your LA Clippers are 3-6. If you want to get on tonight, 866-987-2570. 866-987-2570 is the phone number. There's a lot we could key into here. There are a myriad of issues, but ultimately it comes down to execution and effort. And I feel like the Clippers have been lacking in both of those areas. It's one thing if the effort is there, but the execution isn't. But it took them far too long to get their defense going and for them to really rally in the second half after being down by 18 and that timeout coming from Coach Lou. But I'm going to sum up this loss with what happened at the end of the second quarter. Because to me, that is just beyond the pale. It is inexcusable for the Clippers to give up an 11-0 run in a 3-point game in the last 3 minutes of the second quarter. The Clippers had a brief lead after a 7-0 run in the second quarter at 42-41. And by brief, they had it for 17 seconds. That's it. That's the only lead they had in this game. They led for 17 seconds by my count. The Suns will then hit some three-pointers. They're down by 5 again. This happened over and over again. Dylan Brooks and Goodwin in this instance put the Clippers down by 5. But the Clippers were right there. Were in a position to have it to within 5 points at least heading into the half. You're down by 3. First, Gillespie hits a three-pointer with Cam sagging off on him and looking like he's coming over to help. I'm not sure why. The young man made a mistake. I think overall Cam has been a positive. You live with the mistakes the last couple of games. Then DJ misses a 3 badly on the other end. Booker turns the corner on James Harden, who they were hunting, and even more so than usual, maybe because of his illness. Went to the rim. Batum was the last line of defense. Got an easy reverse layup. Now it's 54-46. Down by 3, now you're down by 8. Zoo an offensive foul on a moving screen on the other end. Booker to O'Neal, who misses a 3. They get the offensive rebound, but then Booker actually got clamped by Cam Christie with some great defense. Ball goes out on Phoenix. Harden, long floater, misses. He had a very off night, especially in the fourth. Then the Clippers got beat down the floor, and it's Booker to Gillespie for another three-pointer. It's 57-46 after another offensive rebound by the Suns that led to that shot. Another Zoo turnover, just a lazy pass. Gillespie hits a 3 over DJ now, and it's 60-46 at the half after Harden throws a turnover before the half is over around the 30-second mark, looking for Batum on a wild cross-court pass. You were down 3. How do you unravel like that and get down by 14 that fast? Like, it's just attention to detail stuff and losing focus. Okay, the Suns were hot from 3, but you're putting them in a good position there with bad turnovers, with offensive rebounds. Really, really concerning end to the half by the Clippers. It was 49-46 at the 3:07 mark. And it's just a team that, I don't know if they were waiting to get to the half, if they got tired, leads to mental fatigue. They just look downright unserious at times. I'm going to put it like that. Their defense was good enough last season where they could get away with lulls on the offensive end and some of the stuff we're talking about, the defense has not been good enough this season so far. On the offensive end, they have issues. On the defensive end, they have issues. It's all over the place. It's not one player, but really disappointed in how they started the third quarter then. They get to Vica Zubats a dunk to start. Harden hits a three-pointer. Their first three since the 7:07 mark of the first quarter. Because at the half, they were 1 for 14 from three. And some people think, well, don't take three-pointers then. It's such a part of the game. If you don't get that rhythm at some point, it's going to be very hard to come back. One of the reasons they got back into this game is because they stayed with it and started hitting. Look at what Batum did. You can't just completely go away from the three ball when you're down 14 at the half. You really can't. It's integral to the game now. But then Booker gets fouled on a three. And then the Clippers give up a run out for Mark Williams for a dunk. They're down 18. So they started off okay, and then a couple of really poor possessions. Fouling Booker on a three, getting beat down the floor by Mark Williams. Coach Lue calls a timeout. He seemed to get their attention. Beal hits back-to-back three-pointers out of that timeout. Now it's 69-57. Harden to Zoo for a push shot. It's a 10-point game. Like that. DJ gets a layup in traffic. It's a 9-point game. But you made it so much more difficult on yourself. And every time the Clippers chipped away against the lead, the Suns would make a play or the Clippers would make another mistake. We had these offensive fouls on Devin Booker. Both of them were challenged. Really chaotic sequence where then Booker had a chance at a layup and some Clippers blocked him. On the other end, I think DJ got blocked. Meanwhile, it's an 8-point game at 78-70. They did respond to that timeout down 18 by Coach Lue, and he stuck with the starters. I thought he was going to make a move right then. They went on a 10-0 run. Booker actually got called for a flopping foul. Extremely rare. And the Clippers are down 7 after Harden hits the technical free throw. But Cam fouls Gillespie as he catches him in the air. And then you get an offensive rebound as Gillespie misses the second free throw. Clippers didn't get burned by that one. Collins gets a layup on the other end. A Cam Christie 3 made it a 5-point game. And the Clippers had it to within 5 heading into the fourth at 85-80. To start the fourth quarter, it's Harden, it's Lopez. Collins, Batum, and I believe Dunn out there. Lopez misses a 3, and I like some of what we saw from Brook Lopez tonight if you're looking for any positives. He doesn't hit a 3. He goes 4 of 5 on 2-pointers where he had mismatches and just went to work. Bank shots, fall away over a double team. That was good. But he missed that only 3 he took early in the fourth, and Allen hit a 3 on the other end. And there was a bad rotation. Harden takes a long 3 that I didn't like falling away. That's the stuff that I thought all 4 of his attempts in the fourth quarter, outside of the step back midi, that was a decent look. So 3 of his attempts worked the offense a little bit more. The Clippers then gave up another offensive rebound off a Gillespie miss from 3. Goodwin gets it. Offensive rebound to Allen, who's hot, hits another 3. 91-80 timeout. Clippers are back down by 11 after they just cut it to 5 heading into the fourth. Harden then takes that mid-range shot flat out of the timeout. Richards jumper. Now you're down 13. John Collins hit a 3-pointer. Made it a 10-point game again. But then Grayson Allen hit a fadeaway 3 on the left wing on Ivica Zubac. That was a tough shot, but he's hot. He'd already hit 2. So he hits 3 3-pointers early in the fourth. It's 96-83. I thought John Collins had some great moments, a layup going right. He had 19, second in scoring. And then after a Zoo floater and some Mark Williams free throws, Nico Batum goes off. And we've been waiting for this. He hadn't had a multi three-pointer made game. He hits a three to make it 98-90. Turnover Suns, and Harden missed a three falling away at the 6:15 mark. You're down by 8. He takes this really tough shot. I know he was under the weather. It just was an ill-advised shot. Clippers did get a stop. Nico hits another three. 98-83. 5-point game, timeout Suns. Dylan Brooks hit a three then over John Collins at the 5:30 mark of the fourth. 101-93. Nico hits another three. He has scored 9 straight points for them. 5-point game again. John Collins got lost then on Royce O'Neal, who answers with a three. That was a huge shot. Done layup, though, 6-point game. Mark Williams then layup on Zoo, 8-point game. Delay a game on Dylan Brooks, who headbutted the basketball afterwards. Clippers get the free throw, 106-99. Then Zoo has a beautiful move spinning on Mark Williams for a dunk, 106-101. 5-point game again. They could not get over that hump. O'Neal misses a three on the left wing. Zoo misses, but Chris Dunn tips it back. And there's a Harden turnover. And Batum has a crazy rear view block on Dylan Brooks. I call it Batumbo. Block tomb, whatever you want to say. Amazing play. This is the biggest shot of the game, though. It's back to a 5-point lead. It's the Suns' ball. Nico got the block, but out off of him. They're about to inbound it. And what happens here? At the 3:02 mark, Devin Booker draws a foul on Chris Dunn on an and one. Makes it 109-101 after he hits the free throw. That was just brutal. Zoo found Collins inside, who misses a floater. Harden takes a logo three. Just a hero ball type of shot. Royce O'Neal hits a three. They're up 11. It's over. Clippers lose 114-103. They're 3-6. And the lack of execution is really concerning. Really concerning. Because they can't put together long stretches of quality basketball on either end. And it's a symbiotic relationship, offense and defense. You're turning the ball over, it hurts your defense. I thought they played better defense after the first quarter where they gave up 35 points. But they still couldn't get enough stops when they needed too late. And that bucket by Devin Booker. With Jalen Green out of the game, he took over when he needed to. He still only had 21 points on 8 of 19 shooting, but he almost had his first triple-double of his career, believe it or not. Devin Booker was 21, 10, and 9. But those 3 3-pointers by Grayson Allen to start the fourth. And James Harden going 0-4 in the fourth quarter with some questionable shots. All this adds up to the Clippers' undoing. 114-103, and they're 3-6. Quick timeout. We'll come back. I'll talk about Coach Lou postgame. Looking for quotes from him. We'll get to your phone calls too. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Thank you, Daniel. All right, come on, guys. Who's got the post game? I saw him at the podium. So, Justin Russo pointed out 3-6 is the same record they had starting off the 23-24 season. You know, the year they got James Harden, they lost 5 straight games when they first got him. But this feels like more than just implementing a huge part of the offense and the system. This feels like a lot of different issues going on at once. And my fear that I said on Clips and Dip yesterday was, or Friday, yeah, yesterday was Friday, is the game passing them by with all these teams putting a focus on getting out in transition. Well, that hurts an old team like the Clippers. And everyone crashing the boards now. I mean, everyone for the Phoenix Suns was crashing. And that takes a lot of energy and young legs. I'll get to phone calls coming up here. I know you guys won't be able to hear them on the YouTube side, but if you're listening on AM 570, and I'll try to recap them and tell you what the majority of the phone call was. When we're at the arena, you guys can't hear 570. When I'm at Burbank, you can, but I'll try to make sure I summarize some of these phone calls so we take care of the YouTube. I know everybody's just saying fire Coach Lou over and over again. I mean, did they not respond after they're down 18 with a 10-0 run? Clippers lose 114 to 103. More deja vu. Same intro again. Another loss to the Phoenix Suns. 4 straight losses for the Clippers. They start off the season 3-6. Last time they did that was 2 years ago. They ended up having their best stretch in regular season history, going 26-5 over a 31-game stretch. But I'm not asking you to buy in and say or believe that's going to happen now. It's a new season. It's a different roster. They don't have Kawhi again. He's expected to miss a few more games with the right ankle injury. But they had enough to win tonight's game. They had enough to win Thursday's game. They led that game at the half. This time, instead of waiting for the third quarter to just unravel like they did on Thursday night, they waited till the end of the second quarter. So they're inventing ways to lose now, it feels like. Sean in Inglewood. Sean, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Austin. What's up, Sean? Give me like 30 seconds. John, would it surprise you that they had Ivica Zubats and John Collins out there when a lot of those offensive rebounds were happening? Right. They didn't start him, but they finished that John Collins was playing in the fourth quarter when the Suns were getting those offensive rebounds. So we can actually talk about what happened, or you can just make up narratives. But Sean, no, Sean, maybe you can help me out here. Daniel, maybe you can help me out. Sean, we can't talk about a different reality because they did have size out there. They had John Collins, Batum, and Ivica Zubats, and they still were getting killed on the glass. I have to talk about what actually happened out there. I understand if you want to dumb everything down to just start John Collins and that will fix everything. I am pointing out that he was in there with Batum and Zubats, and they still were giving up rebounds. Do you understand that part, Sean? That was just one quarter that decided the game. Okay, so the fact that when they were playing big and they still got beat on the boards at the most critical point of the game means nothing to you. Okay, Sean. I mean, you give me the same thing. I understand your point. I've said before I would start John Collins. I would play him more. I'm just saying it obviously wasn't the cure all. Tommy leaving the game. Tommy, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk. What's up, Tommy and Tom? Tommy, Tommy, I'm not saying you're making bad points. I at some point I have to jump in. Uh, I I just would point out that like the idea of John Collins is going to solve everything. I think is a fallacy. Do I want him in the starting lineup? Of course. They played the last 10 minutes of the ball game with Harden, Batum, Dunn, Collins, and Zubats, and they still struggled to get those rebounds. Like they got a lot of issues right now. It's just I just I think people just want to oversimplify so they can go after Coach Lou when there's other issues going on. But no, I think you made some great points, Tommy. Be a regular, all right? Appreciate you calling in. We'll take a quick time out here. Clippers lose 114 to 103 at home to the Phoenix Suns. They've lost 4 straight. Yeah, Cam Christie's look good. If you're playing him a ton of minutes this early in the season, it might be a bad sign. It might be your 3-6. I love Cam Christie, but Coach Lou is looking for answers. And for all those people who always criticize him for not playing young guys, sure seems like Cam Christie's played the last 2 games and the Clippers still lost both. But I'm Adam Moslin, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. People are getting after each other in the chat. Really like that call from Tommy and Tom. I love Sean and Inglewood, but he always says the same thing over and over again. And it's like they literally lost the game trying to do what he asked them to do. They played big and they still lost. They went big the last 10 minutes of the game, and the same problems persisted with offensive rebounds. It also hurt them that Bradley Beal hits his minutes restriction after having his best quarter as a Clipper with 8 points in the third. Collins also, he had some really bad rotations and got lost on defense, guys. I know nobody wants to criticize John Collins because he's the savior for this team, but some of those open three-pointers were definitely on him. I've known since they drafted Cam, they have something with him. But if you're trying to win now, which we thought they were still with what happened this summer, I don't know if Cam is also going to be the answer. Maybe he can help. Maybe he can be better than Bogey and CB3 at their best. And I would say everybody hating on Coach Lou, it's like he's playing Cam right now. He's doing that thing you say he never does. And what happened? 2 more? Clippers lose 114 to 103 and have lost 4 in a row as they drop another one to the Phoenix Suns here at Intuit Dome. I'm Adam Moslem. This is Clippers Talk. Clipper Edward calling back in from Granada Hills. Clipper Edward, what's up? You're literally the only person in Clipper Nation that will criticize John Collins, I think, Clipper Edward. I guess I will too, because he's not a perfect player and nobody is. I still think you take the positives, even with some of the downside stuff or some of the mistakes out there, but I get what you're seeing. Okay. His points are not lucky. Now you're taking it too far. This is his game. This is once we start veering into that area, talking about a professional basketball player and saying some of his points are lucky, I'm sorry, my man, you lose me pretty quick. No, the look, yes, there are some rebounds you're fortunate to get, but like that probably says you have a bias if you speak about one guy and say he's the only one that's getting lucky rebounds. Like, are you going to say that for everybody else? Like, because it happens all game long. Nobody else got rebounds. I'm looking at the stat sheet here. It wasn't just John Collins. I appreciate the phone call, Edward. I got to take another time out here. Clippers lose 114 to 103. John Collins, yeah, I can't ride with that. That was too far. He's just getting lucky out there. Come on, what are we doing? He only had 4 rebounds, by the way. He had 19 points off the bench, and I think is a net positive overall and should play more. He played 28 minutes in this game. That's not nothing. More Clippers talk next here on AM 570 LA Sports. And come on. You sound like a hater if you're like, this guy's getting lucky buckets. And he's a professional basketball player who does those little things, who is a good offensive rebounder. Edwards is a John Collins hater. So we got everybody who are probably too infatuated with him on one end of the spectrum, and then we got this guy, Edward. I don't even know, like, rebounding has changed so much with small guys crashing, Jason, that it's like the trends of the game that teams are leaning into completely undermine this Clippers roster with their age. Like everything that is happening in the game right now is working against the Clippers directly. Everybody's playing faster. That hurts the Clippers. Everybody's crashing rebounds. I hope the game hasn't passed them by. Like this team wasn't built for a different era or something. It's not like they had many options to. Nobody gives away a bunch of young guys. They're hard to get. So we got one more timeout here. All right, I'll take the call and go to timeout. Should I go to Joe or Mike? Should I go to Joe or Mike? Man, Zoo had some really good passes tonight. Ivica Zubac, my player to watch. 21 and 15 and 4 assists on 10 of 12 shooting. And he has some great reads. Which caller? Clippers lose 114 to 103 at Intuit Dome. They're 3-6. Mike in LA. You're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osland. Yeah. Mike, I hear you. I've said all summer long the ideal starting lineup for me would be Harden, Dunn, Kawhi, Collins, Zoo, but it looks like Bradley Beal was promised a starting job, or they just feel like he's the best option. Now, I think you can make the argument that until he's up to speed and not on a 20-minute restriction, maybe at least till then, you keep bringing him off the bench. When he gets off the restriction, maybe you make him the full-time starter, because they got off to a slow start again. Mike, I got to go take a timeout. I appreciate the phone call. I'm sorry. We'll take a quick timeout. Clippers lose 114 to 103. Final timeout. Come back and close things out and preview Monday's game. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. I'm sorry you guys can't hear the callers. I'm also sorry I don't see any post-game quotes from any of our beat writers. What is going on? I saw Coach Lou at the podium. Am I missing something? I'll check Grant. Seems like a good night to get some quotes. What is the deal? Yeah, the Clippers' poor shooting, by the way, has been hurting them. 10 of 33, Suns 16 of 38. Like, I thought this was Beal's best game, but he can only play 20 minutes, so he's having his best quarter and hits his limit. There are so many things hurting this team right now. No Kawhi, Bradley Beal minutes restriction. A lot of guys underperforming together at the same time. I wish I could find some Coach Lou quotes. I know everybody's killing them as they do every night, and it's a lot easier to make one guy scapegoat all the time than talk about, yeah. He ain't perfect. No coach is. I would put Collins in. I think they need to have a better sense of urgency. All right, Clipper Nation. We're 3-6. We're probably wondering how I got here. What's the freeze frame movie trope? Probably wondering how I ended up here. Never saw this coming to start off the season. Got to be honest about that. Thought at worst they'd be 6-4 after the first 10 games. Now at best, they'll be 4-6. To do that, they got to win on Monday night over the Phoenix Suns. Tip off at 7:30. Back here at Intuit Dome. Not against Phoenix again, excuse me. Against Atlanta on Monday night. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Big Brother Jake Warner, our head engineer. We got Daniel West back in the bank, Joey Kimball, our statistician. I'm Adam Oslin. Talk to you guys on Monday.